Come on in and join me for a moment. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Daydream with me, let your mind explore all the things we were created for.
Come on in for a moment. Won't be before you long. Just wanted to talk a little bit. As promised, I talked about this on earlier this week and said I would be on today just to talk a little bit. Come on in for just a moment. It's yours truly, Cheryl Eastman, aka The Inspirer, or Reverend Cheryl, as some call me. Whatever the title, same message. So come on in. Come on in for just a moment. Whether you're live or on the replay. Come on. Won't be long. Yours truly, Cheryl Eastman, aka. We're going to get started in just a second here. Welcome today to our session. It's yours truly, Cheryl Eastman, aka The Inspirer. With you once again, Reverend Cheryl. I'm glad to be here with you once again. Has been a while. It has been a while since I have been here on Facebook. So many things going on, but I figured it was about time that I get back to this and just talk a little bit about this particular subject. As you can see from my ticker tape there, it says what to do if you choose to remain in a challenging situation. Let me introduce myself once again, just in case there may be some who don't know who I am. My name is Cheryl Eastman, Reverend Cheryl Eastman, aka The Inspirer. What is my assignment? To help you tap into your inner so that you can find that winner that's there. She's there, he's there. Sometimes we just go through some challenges before we can really awaken the true self, the true person that we really, really, really are. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about, as you see there, like I said, choosing to remain in a challenging relationship or a challenging situation. And what prompted this was I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of weeks back, and she was concerned about a loved one of hers that was in a challenging relationship and they were not doing what it takes to maintain themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, any of those ways to maintain their, if I can say it this way, sanity, to maintain their sanity, to maintain their peace. Um, One of the things we have to understand is that if we choose to remain, and we'll go through the tips here today, if we choose to remain in a challenging relationship, whether that relationship is with a child. Now, when it's with the child, it's a little different because we're mom and we have to stay. So this is going to be important to know what you have to do, or in addition to what you already know, to be okay. Or that relationship may be with a boss. You have a choice there. Or whether that relationship is with a significant other, you have a choice there as well. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the choices that we have. And when we make the choice to remain, or we make the choice to stay or to stand, even in the face of challenges, there are some things that we can do that will help us maintain, that will help us stay, that will help us stand, that will help us not be so drained. And a lot of times that is what happens. We become very, very drained in those challenging situations, and to the point of sometimes where we're no good for ourselves, or those things that we need to do. By the time we're done dealing with that, we're so wiped out that we can't function any longer within that day or within that week. So let me talk about some things that may help you remain, that will help you stay. So share this. If you know someone that is in a challenging place and they are just like at their wits end, and they have no peace, they have no sanity, they're just, at their wits end, they may need to know some of the tips that we are going to just talk about today here briefly. How to remain, how to flourish. Even you can even flourish in a challenging relationship. You have to understand that if you choose to stay, you're going to need some of these tips to help you maintain. So let's talk about this today. So being in a difficult, challenging relationship can zap your energy. It can take your strength. You can just be wiped out. You have no energy to live. You have no energy for life. When you're in a challenging relationship, that relationship tends sometimes to bleed you dry, to suck you. It can be a blood sucker. It really can be. But if we're going to remain in these relationships, if we're going to stay, if we're going to stick, there's some things we need to know. So the first one is face the fact that this is what it is. It is what it is. Face the fact that it is what it is. And when you face that fact, you get outside of yourself. You get outside of who you are. You get outside and you surround yourself with wise counsel. Whether that wise counsel is a coach or a counselor or a group of sound, solid friends. Yeah, wise friends that can help you walk through this situation. Make sure you don't surround yourself with people, the wrong set of friends, because even then, that will pull you in the wrong direction. So get out. Face it. It is what it is. You understand that it's a challenging situation, and since you know that, surround yourself with who or what will help you get through it. Get through it, or to walk through it with peace, with sanity, and with everything that you need. So face the fact, and then when you face that fact, surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with a group of wise women, wise men, sound, seasoned, that can help you, not in a negative light, not get on that level of negativity, but to be able to walk you through, pull you up out of the pit you may be in, on that given day or in that given situation. So get outside of yourself. You need help sometimes to see just how stressful or difficult a situation really is. So not for the purpose of wallowing in that situation, but just to help you through that situation. So get outside of yourself in that situation. Healthy friends, listen to this, guys. Healthy friends can then keep you focused on continuing to change your part in the relationship. So when you get around a group of healthy friends, or whether that's a coach or it could be a counselor, someone that can help you walk you through this, since you've decided, and let me just say this, guys, when we know that a relationship is challenging and we choose to stay, and we choose to remain there, know that you're going to have to do some work. There's some things that are going to be required of you to do to maintain your strength and to maintain your energy. So, number one, face the fact that this is a challenging relationship. And then facing the fact will help you bring someone into your equation, listen, to help walk you through, to help you get through this challenge. It could be on a day-to-day basis, it could be on a monthly basis, however you choose, but bring a group of people or people around you that are sound, sound wisdom, and that will not get on the negative level, but that will help you walk through it so that you can become a better you, so that you can become a more sounder you. So healthy friends, as I just said, can keep you focused on continuing to move in a positive way. Number one, face the fact. Number two, listen, increase your self-care and your self-limits. So we've been hearing a lot about self-care. What is self-care? What is that? What is self care? Self care can be a plethora of things. It can be a number of things. Self care can be getting out and enjoying friends, getting out and going to the gym, getting out and going, sit at the park, read. Self care can be a number of things, but self care can also be to make sure that you are around the right people. I can't stress enough this tip because most of us skip this part. Yeah, we skip. We're so busy trying to make others happy. We're so busy trying to work with others and on others and for others that we forget about what we have to do to be okay. We skip this part. We neglect this part first of all. And this is the part, because let me say this part. The healthier you are, as a person, as a woman, the healthier you are, the better you're going to be for other people. And it works also in the reverse. The less happy that you are, the less that you're going to be able to do for others. Why? Because you're in a quandary. You're in this whirlwind. So you have to take care of yourself. And I use this analogy often, that when you're on the plane and you're flying it on the plane, yes, Miss Fanny, self-care is a must. We have to know that. They tell you when you're in the air to put the air mask on yourself first, because if you're passed out, if you're not good, if you don't have oxygen, how are you going to in the world help anybody else? So you first of all have to have that mask on. You have to have oxygen in order to be able to function, in order to be able to live, in order to be able to do. You first of all have to take care of you first, and we neglect this part. But you must do things for yourself, and you must make choices about what you will do and what you won't do. Say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this, but this part over here, I'm not doing. And a lot of us have been doing this part over here for way too long. We've been putting up with, we've been dealing with, we've been handling. You've got to come to some kind of resolve that says, I'm not doing that anymore. That's it. I'm finished with that. I have to make sure that I'm not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I have to make sure that my mind is sound. I have to make sure that I can flow, that I can function. And because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to help somebody else. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to stay. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to stand, is to make sure that I'm sound and that I'm not crazy and that I'm not Looney Tunes. I have to practice self-care. Whatever that self-care is, a lot of times we, especially as women, listen, ladies, we feel guilty about self-care. We feel guilty about going out with the girls, or we feel guilty about sitting in the coffee shop. This is something I do all the time, and reading and doing this and doing that, and just really taking care of my mind. What does Cheryl need? What does Cheryl need? What does Fanny need? What does Deborah need? What does Patricia need to make sure that you are sound in your mind? Self-care. Go get a massage. If you need a massage, go get a massage. Go take a mini vacation. If you need a mini vacation, go take a mini vacation. I'm guilty of that one. Go do whatever it is that you need to do. And see, sometimes we're in some of these relationships that make us feel like we're in a vice and we can't do anything. But if you choose to stay, listen, ladies, listen, ins, if you choose to stay, you're going to have to find a way. If you choose to stay. Now, we have a choice, but I'm talking about those that choose to remain. And even those who are not in a relationship, this self-care is very important. This across the board, it's very important for you to do this, because it's going to keep you balanced. It's going to keep you sound. It's going to keep you moving. It's going to keep your brain and everything in motion, so that you don't stall out and stagnate out. We don't want to stall out, because when we stall out, then we're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. There's no productivity going on. There's no activity going on. So you don't want to stall out. How do you keep from stalling out? Self-care. Yes, we must have that balance. How do we keep from stalling out? We have to keep moving. We have to stay in motion. We are supposed to be like a river, not a pond. A pond becomes stagnant, but a river continues to flow. We are supposed to be rivers of life. We are supposed to keep flowing. So we have to practice self-care in order to do that. Often we lose our perspective. So again, this time, this is time for outside friendships. Make sure you are surrounded by a group of strong women, a group of strong men, people who can speak into your life, people who can speak positivity into your life, people who see the value in you, people who see the diamond that you are, people who see the pearl, the great value that you have to offer. Surround yourself with those type of people, and not the people that will pull you down and be negative and then pull you down into negativity. Those types of people are not good for you, and you have to understand that. I don't care if they was your first grade friend. If they are taking you to the dark side, if they are taking you to the negative side, then it's time to cut that tie. Do you understand? It's time to cut that tie. You surround yourself with those that pull you up, those that pick you up, those that will elevate you, those that will allow you to see who you truly are, who you really are, who you were created to be. So we have to get outside of ourselves. So the first one was recognize. The second one is increase your self-care and your self-limitations. Get out of the box. We are in the box. We are in the box. See, that's right, Minister Fanny. Who's in your circle? Do you know that is muy important? Muy important. You've got to have the right people, those that will speak into your life and tell you, hey, Cheryl, you can do it. Hey, Sister Minister Fanny, you can do it. Hey, you can do this. I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to be with the right group of people, and stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting your ability. We keep ourselves in this little bitty old box, and we say what we can't do, what we're not going to do. Stop limiting yourself and break outside of the box and be who you truly are created to be. Because see, if you're in a challenging relationship and you keep yourself in the box, that's the best way to go cuckoo. That's the best way to lose it. That's the best way to lose sight of who you are. That's the best way to lose sight of the life that you were created to live, by keeping the limits. But we've got to take the brakes off, take the limits off, and get outside of that. Get outside of the four walls of your house, or get outside of the walls of your mind. Break free and be who you truly are. Stop the self-limitation, saying what you can't do. It's a choice that you have to make to get outside of that and be what you are. Stop that. Limit setting can include delegating tasks. See, so we have to learn when we're in the throes of a challenge. We as women, we have a problem trying to do everything for everybody. We constantly trying to do everything for everybody. You got to do this for mama. You got to do this for little Day Day. You got to do this for Shaniqua. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. And see, we've loaded all of this stuff on ourselves, and it's pushing us down. It's causing us stress. It's causing anxiety. It's causing that. We're gonna get to the word of God says first natural, then spiritual. We're gonna get to the spiritual in a minute, because I promise you I will not be long, because I have another session after this. But I promise you I will not be long. But we have to learn not to, good afternoon, Sister LaDonna. We have to learn to not try to take on all of these tasks, because that's part of what pushes us over the edge. That's part of what pushes us over the edge. Now, what I'm talking about today is what to do if you choose to remain in a challenging relationship. Some of this stuff that we have taken on ourselves, we've got to learn how to just offload. We got to learn how to offload, because we've taken on too much. So that's part of the reason why we're feeling dizzy. That's part of the reason why we're feeling crazy. That's part of the reason why we're feeling the way that we're feeling, because we've taken on too much of a load. So those that we can invite into, first of all, let's do this. Offload what you can offload. Some of this stuff you don't have to be doing. But we're doing it because we become accustomed to being the jack of all trades, the person that everybody goes to, the person that everybody runs to. That some of that is making us crazy. So whatever you can offload, whatever you can invite someone in to help you with, whether it's your children, whether it's your sister, whether it's your brother, wherever you can invite someone in to help you so that you can maintain that sanity, you do that. Stop trying to do everything. Stop trying to do everything. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. You can't do it. It won't work. You've seen the result of it. Now, since you've seen the results of it, let's do something different. Let's do something else. Let's invite somebody in, or let's get rid of it. Some of this stuff we can make a list and say, do I really need, it's kind of like me when I'm online looking at my bills and those bills that automatically come out. And gym membership stuff you don't never use. Sometimes you need to go through that list like I do. You need to go through that list, pull it up and say, oh, I don't even use this. I need to cancel that. Oh, I don't even remember doing this. Let me cancel that. That's how we need to do with our lives. A lot of things can be canceled out because they're totally unnecessary. They're totally unnecessary. Get on there and say, oh, I don't even use this. I don't even remember getting it. I don't remember this. Cancel out some of these things that we have taken onto ourselves that are weighing our lives down, that are making us, a little hairy. Take inventory. Take inventory of the things that you are doing. And when you can offload those things, when you can get rid of those things, when you can check those off and say, oh, we're not doing that anymore, you do that. I guarantee you, and I'm talking to myself too, when you do that, you will find that there's more peace in your life. There's more joy in your life. There's more happiness in your life. When you get rid of those things that have been weighing you down, when you get rid of those things that have been keeping you down, when you get rid of those things that have been keeping you from your goals, from reaching your goals, from reaching the level, the height, the depth, the length, and the breadth that you have been called to, some of those things that are weighing you down, you must say, no more. But it's on you. It's on me. The allness is on you. The allness is on me to say no more. Not doing it no more. Not looking at somebody else, blaming somebody else if they woulda, shoulda, coulda. No, look at you. Look at me and say, no, I'm not going to do that anymore because I want to be sound. I want to be whole. I want to be right. We've got to learn if we're going to remain in some of this stuff. And if you make the choice not to, that's you. But if we're in some things and we're gonna remain, we're gonna stay there, we're gonna stay. There's some things you got to do, and I'm talking about self-care. I knew this was gonna take a while. Whatever you need to do, don't feel like you are a prisoner and you have to just be right here. You have to just keep doing or not doing the things that you've done for the last 20, 30 years. Self-care, take care of you first. Put you first on the list. Put you at the top of the list. When you put you at the top of the list, then you're well equipped to be able to help in some other areas. But make sure that you cut loose some of those things that are not necessary, the unnecessary things. So self-care. Invite somebody else to help you. If you're taking care of a sick parent, and I'm trying to cover every area. If you're taking care of a sick parent, it all should be on you. Get your sisters and your brothers in there if that's possible. Get them in there to help you so you don't feel so heavy, so you don't feel so weighty. Get your children in there so you don't feel so heavy, so you don't feel so weighty. So during the time that they're helping you out, you can go and sit and have you a cup of coffee. You can go and have a massage. You can go and sit in the park and read a book, or whatever it is that you need to do for you. You do that because it's going to help with your sanity. It's going to help with your mind. Don't overdo. Don't overdo. Don't overdo. And for some of you parents that have younger kids, they've grown accustomed to mama doing everything. And they act a monkey and mama's still doing everything. So stop doing the laundry for the ones that want to cut up. Stop doing those little things, those little favors for them. Let them do some of that stuff themselves. Yeah, let them do some of that stuff themselves. Let them do some of that stuff themselves. So the first one, and I'm trying to be as speedy as I possibly can. The first one, face the fact that you're here, that you're in this situation. Face the fact, this is what it is. Surround yourself with the right group of people. When you face the fact, get someone in there with you, whether it's a coach, whether it's a group, your group of friends, your group of friends, make sure you choose wisely. Okay, let me just say that. Choose wisely. And years ago, I learned how to pray for my friends. And when I say pray for them, pray that the right group of friends come into my life. Because the wrong group of friends, the wrong people in your life can be very detrimental because they speak into your life. They speak into your soul. They speak into your spirit. So you've got to have the right group of people around you. You've got to have that in your life. So whether that's a coach or a group of friends. So face the fact, get the right people around you. Increase your self-care. Take care of you first. Put that mask on yourself as they do on the airplane. Take care of you and stop overdoing it. Taking care of everybody else but you. We do that. Ladies, y'all know we do that. Whoever listens to this now or on the replay or you share it, you know that we do that. Stop it. Stop it. I know it's hard. I know it's challenging. I know it's difficult because we've been doing it for the last 100 years. But we've got to learn how to do self-care. The next one is, as I said, we seek guidance. It's important to seek someone who can help you evaluate and focus on your values and your priorities. And we talked about this. Someone that is going to speak into your life in a positive light. In a positive light. Help you see the big picture of who you are. So many times, guys, I've experienced this with we diminish who we are. We diminish that negative self-talk. Sometimes it's not even outside talk. Sometimes it's not even people on the outside that are talking. It's your own head. It's your own self that is doing negative self-talk. And you diminish who you are when you do that. You begin to have that negative self-talk. You have that self-doubt that you cannot do those things that are in your spirit, that are in your heart, that you've been put on the planet to do. Stop the self-doubt. Stop the self-negativism. Stop negative self-talk. And that's what we do. We talk ourselves out of so much by saying, I can't do this. I don't know how to do that. I'm too old to do this. I'm too young to do this. I'm too whatever. We talk ourselves out of so many of the things that are in our hearts and in our spirits to do. We talk ourselves out of it. A lot of times more than anybody else can talk you out of it because you be in your own head saying what you can't do, saying what you're not, saying what you're not. But flip that, reverse that, and begin to say who you are. I don't care if age is, I rebuke your age. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. If you are still here, there is still more for you to do. If you are still waking up in the morning, breathing in and out, let me tell you this. There is more that is required of you. There's somebody that you have been designed to help. Somebody's life that you have been designed to touch. So stop the negative talk saying what you can't do. Stop the self-doubt saying what you cannot do. You can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. Stop that. We've got to learn that we have the strength of God. We've got to learn that we have the ability of God. He's given us everything that we need to live life and to live a godly life. He's given us everything that we need. Stop the self-talk and stop the self-negative talk. And those around you that's talking it, bye. You might not be able to leave the house, or you might not be able to separate from them permanently, but you can leave the room. But don't let it stop you. Don't allow it to stop you. If you have that book in you, or you may have written a book, it might be book number 2. It might be book number 3. What I'm saying is utilize every bit that God has given you. Don't die with nothing in you. Don't die with those books in you. Don't die with that program in you. Don't die with none of that in you. Utilize it. You were given those things to help somebody else's life. Now, when I started on this, I was talking about choosing. If we in a difficult relationship, it sound like it done flipped a little bit. I'm still talking about the same thing, but I want you to understand. Stop the self-negative talk. I don't care if it didn't go the way it was supposed to the first time out. Try it again. And if it didn't go the way the second time, try it again. Keep trying. Never give up. Never let go. Never turn loose. Keep pushing. Keep moving in the direction that you have been designed to move into. Keep moving. Don't let it stop you. If you choose to remain in a challenging relationship, we're going to get back to that. There's some things you got to do. You got to have some positive self-talk, because sometimes difficult relationship partner, they will gaslight you sometimes. Y'all know what I mean? They will talk bad about, say what you not, say what you can't do, say who you not, say who you, no. You better know who you are. Especially now, you better know who you were created to be, because somebody is going to speak something negative into your life. But when you know who you are, you can offset that language. When you know who you are, you can offset that by saying, oh no, that's not who I am. You can offset that. What are we speaking over ourselves? Because see, people are going to speak over you, even bosses and even children and even mates. They're going to say some negative things, but who does God say you are? Who do you believe that you are? You got to believe that you are somebody going somewhere. I don't care what we see. We walk by faith, not by sight. We've got to know within ourselves who we are, because when we're in challenging relationships, challenging areas that we choose to remain in, you better know who you are. Because if you don't, the negativism in that thing is going to pull you down. You better know who you are. You better know where you're going. You better know how to speak it. You better know how to say it. Because if you don't, it will pull you under. And that's not where we're supposed to be. That's not where we're supposed to be. So be with people who can help you see the big picture. Get around the right group of people, or the right coach that can walk with you right where you are on the way to wherever it is that you're going. It's time to get busy, even if we are in challenging circumstances. God is our strength. He is a very present help in the time of trouble. He is our refuge and our strength. We can run to him when we can't run to nobody else. We can't leave him out of the equation, because he is going to be our help. We can't leave him out of the equation, because he is our strength. We can't leave him out of the equation, because he's the one that's going to say, do this, do that, go here, go there. We must know that God, number one, is our strength. But then he will allow people to come into your life. He will allow people to pour into your life. He will allow people to speak into your life. Begin to say, God, where do you want me to go? How do you want me to do it? Who do you want in my life? Where do you want me to do it? How do you want me to do it? Invite him in, because he sits high and he looks low, and he knows who should be there and who needs to go. Let me say that again. He sits high and he looks low. He knows who needs to be there, and he knows who needs to go. He knows it. He's aware. Invite God in. Now you can feel sorry. Here's the next one. You can feel sorry for yourself for a minute, but don't stay there. Don't build a house around your pain. Don't build a house around your heart place. Don't build a house around your sorrow. Don't build a house there. Feel sorry for yourself for a minute. Cry for 10 minutes. We're allowed that. We are allowed. Give yourself, the little girl in you, the little boy in you, 15 to 30 minutes to cry about something. But do not stay. Don't live your life there. God understands our pain. God understands our hurt. God understands our challenges. God understands our difficulties. He really, really, really does. But we cannot build our lives on pain. We cannot build our lives on disappointment. We cannot build our lives on just the challenge alone. Who is the God of the challenge? Who's the God of the challenge? Do you believe that he's the God of the challenge? Now I'm getting excited here. Do you believe that? That's not what I got on here to do, but somebody must need it. Do you believe that he is the God of the challenge? Do you believe that he can help you overcome the challenge that you're facing right now, whether it's a difficult relationship, whether it's a difficult financial relationship, whatever it might be, a difficult job, a difficult child, whatever it might be? Do you believe he's the God of the challenge? He is the God of the challenge. So don't let yourself stay there. Don't build your life. Let's build our life on Christ. Build our hope on things eternal. Let's not build a house around our pain. We don't want to be the house of pain. We want to be overcomers in the midst of our pain. We want to be overcomers. See, these are some of the tools that we can walk through. Be overcomers. If we choose to remain in challenging places, allow God to walk with you there. Don't try to pull up your big girl panties and your big boy, whatever, and walk through it. Allow God to walk through it with you. And when we do that, we will find ourselves being overcomers and victorious, even in the midst of those difficult places. And life is full of trouble. We're going to have some kind of troubles in our lives. We need to understand that. And I think we do on this line. But what I'm trying to say, what I'm telling you is that God is our strength. Cry for a minute, but then get up. Donnie McClurkin said it real good. You know, he said, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Not we fall down, but we stay down. You know, we pray and cry and pray and cry, but get up. Even in the midst of that crying and praying and falling down, make sure that you get back up. Because some things hit us in our life very hard, and it's challenging to get back up. But the strength of God will allow you to get back up. The strength of God will allow me to get back up. The strength of God will get in that thing with us. He will climb over into that situation with you and whisper in your ear, now it's time to get up. He will whisper into your spirit, now it's time to get up. He will whisper into your heart, now it's time to get up. I'm with you. I am a very present help. I haven't went anywhere. Now it's time to get up and move forward. And when we do that, when we allow him, even in our hard places, even in our challenging places, when we allow the Holy God to get in it with us, whisper in our ear and say, now it's time to get back up. We can get back up. We can move forward. Cry for a minute, but don't wallow in the situation. Don't be the victim. Don't throw the tantrum. And why me? Why me? Why did this happen to me? Why not? We serve a God that can pull us through. There's some things in our lives, we need to understand this part, that have to happen. Why does it have to happen? Because it builds our faith. It builds our hope. It builds our confidence in God so that we can tell somebody else in their hard places, hey, let me tell you this, you can make it. Somebody else needs to know that God is real. Somebody else needs to know that God is faithful, that God can pull you through anything that you're going through, any challenge, any hard place. Some of the things that we go through have to happen so that we can be a living witness to the world, to our family, to our sister, to our brother, to the teacher, to the preacher. We can be that witness that says, I know these things happen. I know we suffer loss. I know we deal with pain. I know we deal with challenges, but God, he will get in it with you and whisper into your ear and say, now get up. Now get up. Don't remain there. Focus your attention on learning everything you can in this situation. Focus your attention in, okay, this happened. This is what's going on. What am I going to pull out of this to help me move forward? What am I going to pull out of this hard place that's going to help me propel to my next level? See, that's what we need to be thinking about. We need to be thinking about, okay, this is what's going on. This is real. And I see, we don't never minimize our challenges, but we utilize our challenges. Not minimize, but we utilize them. That take us to the next level so they become a stepping stool to our next level, wherever it is that we are going, naturally and spiritually. You utilize those things that you learn. You don't just go through it and bear it, but you learn from it. Learn from that hard place. Learn from that challenging relationship. Learn from the difficulty that you're facing on your job or with your child or with your husband or with whoever, your significant other. Learn from those things so that you can go to the next level, so that you can let somebody else know you can make it. It's hard. It looks difficult, but you can overcome this, even this challenge. I just said he's the God of the challenge. He's the God of the challenge. He can meet any challenge. He can meet any challenge. He can take you through any challenge and then bring you out. He's the God of the challenge. Take what you need. Take what you need. And I said this earlier, stop the negative self-talk. Stop the negative self-talk, whether it's coming from your own self or somebody else. You can cut it off. You can cut it off when it's when you're in your head and saying, "Oh, stupid me! I should have did it this way. I shouldn't have dealt with this. I should have." Stop that. Stop that. And the negative self-talk that comes externally outside of yourself, you can stop that too. You don't have to deal with that. You can escape it. You can get away from it. You can move. You can go the other direction. Stop the negative self-talk. Stop it. Negative talk and thoughts breed more negativity. Do you know that? Do you understand that? Negative self-talk breed more negativity. It doesn't build you up. It doesn't build you up the way that you were intended to be. It takes you down. So we've got to stop the negative self-talk, and those that talk it say, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't have to hear that. Because I know who I am, and I know it is what it is right here in this moment, but I know this, it's not going to stay here. I know I'm not going to stay here. I know I'm not going to remain here. I know that I'm going to get higher. And that comes from not doing the negative self-talk or listening to negative self-talk, which is why it's important to be around the right people. No, no, negative breeds negative. Remember that. Negative breeds negative. We've got to begin to speak positive, that it will counteract, and you can get that in your spirit. You can get that in your heart. You can get that in your soul. You can get that in your mind. Not negative self-talk or not receiving it from the outside. Positive will allow you to build upon and to stack upon. It'll just make those around you feel worse when we begin to talk negative. And we're not trying to make ourselves or those around us, but focus on what's real. We focus on what's real. And then what you are willing to do to make it better. So I said this was the first one. Deal is, face the fact. It is what it is. But what do we don't stop there. We don't stop there. My battery is going out. Wow. I'll be done in just a moment. We don't stop there. We face it, but then we look and say, what do I need to do about it? What am I going to do to bring about change in my life? What am I going to do to change all of this stuff that's going on? Since I've chosen to remain in this situation, what am I going to do about it? And we've talked about those things today. What am I going to do? So focus on what's real, and then what you are willing to do. See, there has to be a willingness in your heart. There has to be a willingness in your spirit to do something to change it. You can't just say, okay, it is what it is. But okay, it is. But what are you going to do to change it? How are you going to pivot from that point? How are you going to pivot from that point? Stop the negative self-talk. Watch the people that you're around. Realize you're in this situation, but you can pull yourself up from that. Realize that God is God. And I'm going to speed and hasten to a close since my battery is going out. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Work on yourself. No matter what your situation, you always have a choice to stay or go. Now, we were talking about the difficult relationship, but if you choose to remain, you got to do some work. You always have a choice, but you have to be involved. Be involved. You may not be able to change the other person in your life, but guess what? You can change you. You may not be able to tell them what they need to do, but you can tell you what you need to do so that you can remain whole. If you are going to remain in a situation, whatever that situation is, get what you need to be the better one. Get what you need to be whole. Get what you need to be sound. Get what you need to be stable, fixed, unmoved. Number one is God. God will give you what you need. Like I said, you may not be able to change the other person, but you can behave with grace and dignity. Even in the middle of that situation, you can behave with grace and dignity. You are the better person. You can be the better one. And I don't mean when I say I'm better than you, not that, but your conduct, how you conduct yourself in that situation can shine. And listen to this. It can shine so bright that the other person, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but that the other person can see the changes that you've made, and it can begin to pull them in, like, what are they doing? It can begin to pull them in, and change can happen within that relationship. But you do your part and watch what happens. Even if there's no change, you do your part and you watch what happens. I'm going to close this out. And there were some things I wasn't able to say today because, like I said, my battery is running out. The last one I said first natural and spiritual. Philippians 4, I believe the 6 and 7 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let our requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God that passes all understanding will come in, keep and guard your heart and mind through Christ Jesus. He does not want us being anxious for anything. Be anxious for nothing, but offer everything up to God in prayer. With prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. What is supplication? It is request. It is petition. With prayer and petition. And then the peace of God. When we do those things, the peace of God will come in, guard our hearts and our minds. Give it all to him. Give it all to him. Don't be anxious for it, because guess what? Anxiety changes nothing. Anxiety fixes nothing. Anxiety doesn't move anything. God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, can move anything, can change anything. Let's lay and lean on him. Let's follow his formula. Let's follow what he says. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, give it to me. Basically what he's saying, don't be tripping on it. Give it to me. Don't be, going through all kind of gyrations up because you're in a challenging situation. Give it to me and allow me to work on it. Allow me to fix it and allow me to help you to not stress out. Allow me to help you become a better you so that you can maintain even in a challenging spot. I'm going to close on out what to do. We talked about standing still, work on yourself. We talked about stopping this negative self-talk. We talked about you can feel bad for a minute, but get back up again. Don't stay there. We also talked about, let's see here, increasing your self-care. We got to have that self-care. And I hope I stayed on that long enough because that's so important, you guys. Those that are it's so important, that self-care. Do what you need to do for yourself. Stop trying to be, everybody else's savior and save yourself. Stop it. Stop trying to be everybody else's. Get it. Do what you need to do to maintain your sanity so other people don't just bleed you dry. Watch who you're around. Watch your group of people. Watch your friends. If you need to get a coach, if you need to get somebody, I ain't gonna say what I want to say on that one. Get them. They will help you. Walk with a good, sound group of people. Watch your surroundings. Watch who you allow into your life. Watch it. Watch yourself. Because just like the right group of people will pour into you and they're pouring the oil and the wine into your life, the wrong group of people will sap your strength, sap your energy. They'll suck you. They can be bloodsuckers. What to do if you choose to remain in a challenging relationship. These things, what I talked about, will help you be able to stay. Don't just stay and you just dying, or don't just stay in that relationship. Now, I said when it's a parent child, that's a different dynamic. But when it's something, when it's a mate or when it's a boss, those types of things, when we can choose to leave and we don't, there's some things that you can do for yourself that will help you walk through it sound, whole, and safe. Listen, the choice ultimately is yours, but I want to give you a couple of little pointers about what to do if you choose to remain in a challenging relationship. And I know God can help us. I know. Ask me how I know. He can help us even there. There's nothing that God cannot do. He can do all things but fail. So listen, it's yours truly, Cheryl Eastman. I've been on here way too long, but I wanted to kind of point this out. I had said I was going to come today with this, and I wanted to point this out. And if you all want to hear, more things kind of like along these topics or things like this of this nature, let me know. And I will, I'll do some research. I'll seek God and see what he's saying, because I know a lot of us are in some difficult places right now in our lives. And we just want someone to walk alongside of us and maybe to give us a couple of tips to help us to get through a hard place in our lives. So listen, it is Wednesday afternoon here in California anyway, and wherever you are in the world, I pray that you enjoy the remainder of your day. And listen, utilize the tools. Utilize the tools I talked about. Go back and listen to it if you missed some of it. Utilize these tools, and I guarantee you that they will bless your life. They will help you right where you are in this challenging place. It's yours truly, Cheryl Eastman. I'll talk to you real soon. You guys take care, be blessed, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.